Hey, what's up guys, Yusuf here with Tech Central Reviews, and today I'll be giving you guys my full review on the HP Envy X360. And what we're going to be trying to find out is whether or not this is the best convertible laptop at a reasonable price. Let's find out. Now, the model that I am reviewing is the base model that comes with an Intel Core i5-6200U clocked at a base frequency of an average 2.3 GHz. This processor comes with 2 cores and is hyper-threaded, meaning you will get a total of 4 threads. On the graphics side of things, we have the Intel High Definition 520 graphics. Now, these are ideal for just about anything other than gaming or video editing, or basically anything that's graphic intensive. For RAM, we have 8 GB of DDR3 memory, which is more than enough for what this laptop is already capable of. In terms of storage, we have a terribly slow 1 TB 5400 RPM hard drive. By the way, because of its ability to convert into a laptop, which I'll get into later, this is also a touchscreen laptop. This all comes in at about $700 US. Keep in mind that you could also customize the device to your liking by adding more RAM, a better processor, or whatever suits your need. The build quality of this laptop is absolutely phenomenal. It even beats out some of the higher end laptops that I have seen. The entire body is covered in aluminum, even on the inside, and there doesn't seem to be any cheap plastic, which I find excellent at this price point of only $700. On the top, we have the HP logo with a silver metallic sheen to it. On the bottom, we have a couple rubber pads for keeping the device in place, as well as lifting it up on the surface that it is placed on. We also have a large ventilation grill on the bottom, and in terms of ports, on the left, we have a power button, Kensington lock, more ventilation, a USB 2.0 SD card reader, as well as volume controls. On the right, we have our power connector, Ethernet jack, HDMI port, as well as 2 USB 3.0 ports, a start button for when you're using the device in tablet mode, and a 2.5-inch headphone jack. Now, the display is pretty well weighted, but the device still wobbles around a little when you're trying to open the display with one hand. For the display on this laptop, we have a very average 1080p screen. Now, this display is mediocre, but this is what I was expecting at a laptop at this price point. You're obviously not going to get a 4K screen at only $700. Now, one of the problems with this display is because it's a touchscreen, that means there is no anti-glare coating, because that would mess with the touch responsiveness. So the device is almost impossible to use at very brightly lit situations, such as where you have like a light directly above you pointing at the screen because of the glare. Now, the device can also operate in 2 modes, so let's discuss them right now. The first mode we have for the display is the traditional laptop mode. Now, this would be used obviously for typing documents and doing things that require a trackpad and a keyboard, although there is an on-screen keyboard when you do flip into the tablet mode, but it's just not as useful as using an actual keyboard. Now, the second mode in the tablet is the one which will automatically switch once you put the device into the tablet mode, and what this is going to do is it's basically going to switch all the icons to larger icons, kind of like Windows 8, even though this is running Windows 10. Now, this will also disable the keyboard on the back to prevent accidental typing, and the one thing that I found slightly annoying was that the display orientation of the keyboard couldn't be changed when the laptop was placed in this position. Obviously, the device is slightly difficult to use at this orientation because of its size and weight, but it'll take some getting used to, but once you're used to it, it's actually quite a useful feature. The keyboard in this system is better than I would expect from a laptop at this price range. The key travel is good, but the keyboard is very loud for some reason. Here's a comparison next to the Lenovo Y700 keyboard. There's also only one level of white backlighting for the keyboard. Obviously, I would have wished to have dimmable lighting so you could have multiple levels of backlighting, but that's not an option, which isn't a big downfall, but it's definitely something we could have wished for. The keyboard also has short up and down buttons, which will take some getting used to, and the trackpad in my opinion was a huge disappointment. Scrolling with 2 fingers sometimes works, and actually pressing the buttons works fine. However, the biggest disappointment is actually the tap to click function, where you don't actually have to fully press down, but you could just tap on the surface of the button. Whenever you would do this, the trackpad would make this awful loud clicky noise, which would just be very annoying. Now the trackpad is also much bigger than the average trackpad, which I'll show right now, and as you can see, it's obviously much larger than you would normally expect, and this might get in the way for some people, but I find that it's actually a nice plus because it allows you to scroll through the Windows operating system much easier. The camera on the device is pretty average. It shoots 720p video that will suffice for video calls, but nothing much else. And the computer is running Windows 10 Home, which, as you saw before, can switch between tablet mode and the traditional Windows 10 mode as you switch the tablet into tablet mode or back into the laptop mode. The battery on this laptop was actually really good. I was averaging around 8 to 9 hours, which I'd say is actually really good for a laptop at this price point. Obviously it has a 1080p screen, so that's one of the major reasons why it has a much higher battery life than a laptop with a 4K screen, which is the laptop that I use on the daily basis, the Lenovo Y700. However, back to the HP Envy X360. Under light load, meaning that the screen was at medium brightness and the device was often put to sleep, waken back up and stuff like that, it lasted for around 8 to 9 hours. Under heavy load, it lasted for about 6 hours, and that's pretty impressive for a device at maximum brightness and under heavy load. Now the device charger is pretty conventional. It's just you could plug it in any direction, and it's just a standard plug-in power connector. There's no fast charging, nothing like that, so nothing really wow about the power connector. Thank you guys for watching that quick review on the HP Envy X360. I would definitely recommend this product because of its really reasonable price point at around $700. This laptop, I'd say, would be great for anyone looking for an excellent school laptop or something to use just for home. It's definitely not a very premium laptop, but I'd say it definitely fits its price point really well, and I'd say that it is definitely one of the best convertible laptops you can get at this price. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.